Welcome to the Stephen Hartmann Podcast. What's the show?
No one knows.
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who cares? Let's start the show.
That's right. Let's get this damn show started. It's Friday. How's everybody doing? Anybody off this weekend? I just had my day off, so I'm working. That's all right. I don't mind. It was a pretty quick week. I just did that one on Wednesday, if anybody listened, but it was just sports, so I don't blame you if you didn't. But today's going to be a nice, good episode, just talking about all kinds of stuff. I figured I would start off with kind of the bummer talk right off the bat, though, because it kind of sucks that Norm Macdonald just passed away. I don't know. I'm pretty sure most people know who Norm Macdonald is. He was a pretty funny guy. Unfortunately, he passed away recently. And I guess he was battling cancer for like 9 years. And it's like, damn, that's kind of crazy. Didn't really tell anybody or anything. Seems like a lot of them guys do that nowadays. You know, they just kind of battle this shit without saying anything. Unfortunately, they seem to die real young. That's the bad part, you know. It's like maybe if they were more outspoken, you know, maybe they could have got more help or something. But either way, it's like, damn, that sucks, man. You know, losing a lot of decent people real young, you know. I don't know. Like, you know, we just lost Michael K. Williams to probably a drug overdose of fentanyl or something like that. And then now we just lost fucking Norm. It's just like, damn, man. Shit's not going very well. All I can say is at least they're not dying from COVID. I would really hate to hear that word associated to shit like that, but it still just sucks that they're dying. Especially so young, man. Like, I can't remember. Was he like 51? Like, he kind of looked old, but I think that might have been from the cancer. And I don't think anybody really noticed, like, that he was like looking a little old and rugged. I just thought he was older. You know, I didn't realize he was still that young, but it's kind of sad. He was a funny dude on SNL, the Adam Sandler movies, all that shit, man. He always cracked me up with his weird comedic, you know, the way he did it, you know, the way he said shit. It's just like, what a weirdo. But it just always made me laugh. And it's like, damn. So that was sad. So I figured I'd just like, I found this video. It was like one of the first ones on YouTube. Figured we'd watch it. It was, it's, I guess, a turtle joke or something like that. It's got a shitload of views, but we'll pop that on real quick. Get on here. Bam. He's on Conan O'Brien.
You know, I find out more and more about you every time you come on the program. You know, I always study up on a file and I learn more about you. And I was really surprised.
I always forget to go full screen.
I didn't know this, but you were a bartender.
Yeah, I did a lot of jobs before I got into comedy.
I just love his voice.
I was slinging the hash.
You idiot!
That was when I was a fry cook. I was a bartender. I was slinging the drinks, you know.
Sure, right.
And, oh man, that was fun. I'll tell you what's fun about being a bartender. Always a story, you know.
Really?
Always something funny happening down
He
the
always
bar.
looks like he's baked as fuck.
Perfect for a talk show then.
Yeah, this is a good example.
I can't say anything.
One time I was working in there. Drunk guy comes in, you know. And you're not supposed to serve the drunk guys. You know, that's one of the things you learn.
But it's all the people at the bar.
Okay.
And also you learn how to make the drinks.
Yeah.
But so the drunk guy comes in, you know, real drunk, you know, 3 sheets to the wind, you know. So this character sits down, you know, and I says to him, I says, what do you want? I can't serve you, you know. He goes, I don't want a drink, he says, you know. He says, I want to shoot a dart at your dartboard, you know? So I go to the guy, say, you can't shoot a dart at my dartboard. He goes, you're not in this, you're drunk, you know? I said, I'm not going to let you, that'd be dangerous. That's a sharp thing, a dart, you know? So the guy goes, no, let me shoot one shot at the dartboard. So I go, all right, one shot, that's it. So the guy shoots the dart, bullseye. I never seen anything like it, you know, even in a state, bullseye. So the guy says to me, he says, what do I win? You know? So I don't know what he wins. I'm confused, you know. So I start looking around, try to find something before him, and I see right in the bottom of the bar area, there's a shoebox with a turtle in it.
From where? What is that doing there?
What? I was gonna give it as a gift to my nephew.
Okay, all
he
right.
wanted a turtle, and I said, I'll give him a turtle. That'll be a good gift.
Okay.
But then later I thought, that's a dumb gift, a turtle. Nobody likes a turtle, you know? The kid will probably just put him on his back until he dies. Kids are cruel, you know? So I said, why not just give it to this drunk?
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So I said, here's your prize. Here it is. And so the guy takes it in the shoebox, you know, and he goes, thanks, and he walks out with it. So I figured that's the last I'll ever see of that guy.
Sure.
2 weeks later, the guy shows up again, drunk again. So now I go, oh my God, that's that guy from 2 weeks ago, you know? So he walks up to the bar. I go, I can't serve you, buddy. I can't do that. He goes, he says, I want to shoot a dart at your dartboard. I go, no, man, I let you do that before. He goes, but I got a bullseye. I say, yeah, but you can't do that again. You're not as luck. He goes, let me try. So he takes it, shoots it, bullseye again.
Oh, man.
So he goes, what do I win? You know? So I'm confused. I don't know, you know? I look around. I go, I don't know. I go, what did you win last time? He goes, last time. He goes, last time I won a roast beef on a hard roll. It was the turtle.
We know it was the turtle. It was the turtle. We know.
Oh my God.
It was the turtle.
Guy must have gone
That's
out and ate
fucking
it.
retarded.
It was great.
I'm sorry I said that
turtle.
word.
I see.
Oh fuck, that was stupid as fuck. It's too bad that guy's gone, man. He made me laugh a lot. I'd never seen that. That shit was fucking funny as hell. I'm like crying over here. Sorry. Yeah, it sucks that he's gone, man. Definitely gonna miss him. Fucking I guess I can go into my life stuff right now. I have that pulled up here too. What I decided to do was pull up where I used to live in San Diego, and I'll kind of talk about that a little bit. I've done it a little bit, but I don't think I've gone into like super detail or anything. Damn, now I'm wondering if I should do that on here since a lot of this is just audio. I guess I'll just make it like real quick. Let me double that screen again. So basically, I just like pulled up on Google Maps where I used to live in San Diego. It's this place right here. It's the little single story place. It's kind of funny because my uncle was always kind of flashy. But when we lived here in San Diego, we kind of had this smaller house. Like if you look around, everybody else had like big ass houses and shit. Like all down the street, it's like 2 stories, 2 stories, 2 stories. There really isn't very many single stories. But where he was, you know, it was. Well, let me go back here. I was going to show you the park that's next door. Sorry. The one cool thing about this place is we had this park right here. It kind of looks fucked up right now, and I don't know why. This is all blurry. Like, why did they blur that out? Like, what's going on over there? Like, I tried to zoom in and shit, and it just kind of takes me to the other neighborhood, so I don't want to do that. But I was like, damn, the park looks bad. Like, when I was here, it was all, like, green and nice looking and shit. I think I could change what year, though, maybe. How did I do that? Weird. I swear I was just looking at it a minute ago and it had like green grass and shit. But yeah, I'm guessing this is probably during the winter or something. But we used to play like football. My cousin Mel would come over here sometimes and we'd get all the kids and we'd play some football games and stuff. And when we got a little bit older, like a lot of the neighborhood kids, we started playing like Smear the Queer. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically like whoever has the ball, everybody's got to tackle or like hit them, basically. It was like a bad name for a game, but you know, we didn't know what the hell it meant. We were just little kids. I'm going to go down here to show you the other part of the area. We used to have like a little basketball hoop right here. We'd play like around the world. It would just be this whole area. It'd just be like, I think it was like 30 spots. And like I think a few times we did it, you know, like some of the kids were actually really good shots, but it was pretty fun. And then like I don't know which tree it was. It might've been this one. Oh, I didn't mean to go all the way around, but I fucking tossed this one kid out of one of these trees and he broke his arm. I didn't necessarily mean to do it, but it was kind of fucked up that I did it, of course. And I guess I could show you where. This is funny just doing this because this is just bringing back memories. Right up here, up this canyon, right at the end of the cul-de-sac here. This is where me and my buddy Ian, it might even kind of looks like there's still a little fort up there. We crawled up this canyon and we shot at the neighbor kids up here with our paintball guns. We got all kinds of trouble, but this whole place is just like nothing but canyon. Like I said, we'd like build forts up in here. Like you can see all the bushes. I wonder if can I go up in there? No, it's not letting me go there. Weird. But yeah, there's another. Oh shit, they put a basketball hoop over here. That's funny. It was over on the other side for sure. But yeah, that's cool. That's probably a smarter spot for it. There's another little park over here. This is kind of where we would do other like paintball missions or whatever. We'd all just like run around here and just shoot at each other and shit. The other cool thing about this area, because you know it's a private area, kind of not a lot of traffic, is we got to play a lot of street hockey. As you can see, it's straight as shit. And of course, back then it was probably even more maintained. But the problem was they had all these gutters. We'd just lose our damn. See, like right there, we would constantly lose our hockey balls and hockey pucks in those damn gutters. But there's a main hole right there. We just pop that bitch open and go down there and get it. But yeah, it's crazy looking at all this stuff. I guess I should get off here just for the audio, but I just kind of wanted to go over that. It's kind of cool to see that. But San Diego was pretty fun, man. Like I said, it's one thing because we were in a really nice area. Scripps Ranch was definitely, you know, upper class, very nice. There was like at least 8 community pools within like a mile of my house. Like I could go to like several different pools, you know, and, you know, just walk right in. There was no charge or anything like that. Like when I moved here, they're like, let's go to the community pool. It costs like $250. I'm like, what? Pools cost money? I didn't know that shit, you know, but fucking, it was a really nice place. It was really interesting where we lived because we lived like basically in a bowl. It was like in this canyon and it was just surrounded by like basically dead bush. And I don't know if anybody knows it, but like, we're going to say it's probably about 10 years ago, but they had massive fires in Scripps Ranch. And I think a lot of it has to do with having all that dead weeds and shit because it just burnt everything down. But like California just kind of burns down anyway. So it's always dry. But it was really cool. Like I said, we played a lot of street hockey. That was one thing that was pretty fun. You know, we were all pretty good at that. We didn't play a lot of football because most of us really weren't all football types or whatever. We did a lot of like fort building, a lot of like, you know, climbing trees and just doing a lot of weird adventure shit. I remember this one time, me and my buddies, we took my BB gun and we like tried to find the Navy base or whatever it is that's right there, kind of in that area. I would say it's probably roughly like 3 to 4 miles away. And me and my friends just like one night decided to like try to creep up on it. I'm pretty sure they knew we were there the whole time, but like we felt like we were being sneaky little assassins or whatever, you know. And then like we kind of got up to the main walls and shit, and you could kind of hear them saying something to us or whatever, like, oh fuck, we need to go. So we all just took off running and shit. But it was kind of cool because there was just like tanks and stuff that were kind of blown up. You know, you could tell they were doing like assault drills or whatever. It was pretty cool. But definitely somewhere we shouldn't have been, you know, at like 9 or 10 years old. But I just need to check the time because we got to go here at 11 o'clock. So the other thing is just like I said, San Diego was just, we had a lot of access to a lot of fun things. I was constantly going to the beach. Like I was just constantly in the ocean. Like almost every other weekend, probably we were going to the beach, just swimming, boogie boarding, you know. I thought I was like all professional with a wetsuit and all kinds of shit, you know. And of course I had to have the best shit. And my uncle always got me that stuff. And then like the school was really interesting. Like I kind of talked about how my uncle paid for the carpeting. Sorry. I went to Jerebeck Elementary. Like I can't remember how far it was from that place. Let me look it up right now because I have it pulled up. Kind of swallowed the wrong way. Sorry. Let's see here. It's roughly 2 miles from where I lived. And I would say it had to have been at least 4th or 5th grade. I started just riding my bike to school. And like I think about that now, like I have a niece that's 10 years old. I couldn't imagine sending her on her bike to her school. And I was definitely doing that because I was riding my bike for at least 2 to 3 years when we lived in San Diego. And I went to school until 6th grade in San Diego. So I figure I started riding my bike in 4th grade. Now, I probably didn't do it all the time when it was cold, winter and shit like that. I'm pretty sure I got rides. I just remember doing it. And it might have just been when I had to. I can't remember. But like the hills were so steep. Going back home took like at least 4 times longer than it did me going to school. It was hard, especially because I was a big kid, you know. I was definitely, you know, a little chunky and shit. So trying to ride my bike up these hills was pretty hard. And I remember eventually being able to do it. But most of the time I would have to like get off, walk the bike for a while, get back on for a while. And like I said, it's only 2 miles. And you think about that and I'm like, I don't mean I can't bike 2 miles. But then when me and my wife went to San Diego recently, when we went to Legoland with my niece, we drove that way. And I'm just like, damn, man, this hill is gnarly. And I'm just like, I can't imagine, like I said, sending my niece Lavi to ride her bike up this hill. I mean, first off, she has a little issues with bikes anyway, but just like even just having her walk home at that point. And I'm just like, damn, it's a pretty crazy walk. But especially in the one area is almost like a highway because there's only really one road into Scripps Ranch. And it's basically a highway. It's like a 4-lane highway. So you just got a bunch of cars whizzing by you and shit. But anyway, like besides that point, the school was really fun. I remembered mostly enjoying that school. Whether or not I was a good student, I really wasn't. Like I said, I hardly ever did shit. I mean, like I look at like some of the homework that I have, I should have like pulled some of that out right now. I don't even know where that shit is, truthfully. I know I have a chest with all my old school shit. That'd be kind of cool to show on here. I'll just like take a bunch of pictures of shit. I have a whole thing of people thanking me for the new carpet. It's so fucking weird. But like we did like stories on Indians and all kinds of shit. So I have like all these books. I have all this work. So I should do that. I should bring that on here and show it. So I'll look for that stuff. That'll be kind of cool to look through. Because I haven't looked through that stuff in, I don't know, like 15, 20 years. So it'd be kind of cool to see some of that stuff for sure. The one, like I said, the one really cool thing about that school was the book fairs. Like I said, I was kind of a book nerd. Like, not necessarily where I read a lot of different kind of books. I just read the R.L. Stein, like Goosebumps and shit like that. So like anytime there was a book fair, I swear I bought like 7 or 8 books, like every time. Like that was one thing that I liked a lot. And then of course, like, I guess the Boy Scouts wasn't part of the school, but like we did a lot of Boy Scout stuff at the school. So I guess they had some kind of tie-in. I'm guessing some of the moms may have been teachers or something. Because I remember doing like the soapbox derby thing at our school where we did the book thing. So it's like, okay, they must like have a thing or something like that. Or maybe they just rented it out. I don't know. But Boy Scouts was all right, I guess. I didn't learn too much. They gave me badges and shit like that, but I'm like, what did I learn in Boy Scouts that I didn't already know? I already knew how to swim. I already knew like all that stuff. So like when I first got into it, I just got a shitload of badges because I already like I could just prove that I knew how to do all that stuff. But I don't know, like we didn't really do any trips or anything like that. I remember doing like 1 or 2, like going over to someone's house and doing some kind of crafts. And that was about it. And like dressing in those uniforms and shit just kind of felt weird. You know, I don't know. I definitely didn't like the Boy Scouts that much, I guess. Like I said, I think it was just a thing that my uncle wanted me to do. I'm guessing it's probably something that he probably did growing up. I don't know. But what I was gonna talk about is some of the games that we played. Like I said, Smear the Queer. That was a pretty, like I said, that's a pretty standard game. Like I've heard other people talk about it on podcasts and stuff, you know, the kids played. And I've talked about it with my wife and people like that. And like a lot of other people have never heard of this game that we used to play. It's called Butts Up. Basically, you would have like a tennis ball or a racquetball, and you guys threw it against the wall. And if you caught it, you threw it back. And if you dropped it, you had to run to the wall before someone else threw the ball against the wall. If you didn't make it, you stood there with your hands against the wall and your butt up in the air. And they pelted you with the ball. Now, even that version of the game is very weird. Like I think about it now, I'm just like, it's kind of mean. And, you know, it's almost kind of picking on, you know, the slow kids, which, you know, we're probably almost always the ones getting pelted. And then, you know, I don't know, that somehow it evolved to, if you drop the ball, you got to make it to the wall as we all just start punching the shit out of you. And when I say that, I mean literally throwing punches at people's faces, whatever, just throwing punches. And we called the game suicide, basically. It was like, if you wanted to play, you were going to get fucked up. And it was not very many people played, of course, but there was a good 10 to 20 kids that we would do that almost every morning before class. This was in 6th grade. Like you said, it was a little more hardcore. We were a little older, you know. And like I said, it was definitely several times at school. This would just lead, you know, into fist fights and shit. You just watch dudes just start throwing down, fucking beating the shit out of each other. It was just like, why are we doing this? But for whatever reason, you know, I would play. I never really took it that far. You know, yeah, I would get punched and shit, but I never would just start like punching the shit out of someone because they hit me, you know. Just like, yeah, I fucked up. I dropped the ball. I don't know. And then we had this other game. I don't know if people did it. Like, I guess it was called like Pencil Wars or something like that. This is almost where I felt like it was a rich white kid thing, but it wasn't, because like everybody had pencils and you could just buy them at the school for like 5 cents or some shit like that. And truthfully, those were the ones you wanted. They were thick as fuck. They were good pencils. And what you would do is you would try to break the other person's pencil. They would hold theirs straight out. You would use yours and flick it. And, you know, it would put like a dent or whatever. Well, this slowly evolved. People were like, well, fuck, how about I just take the eraser off, bend the metal into the blade and shit. Now you're just slicing through the pencils and shit. So eventually we're just like one whack, just killing pencils and shit. And like I said, just buying like 10, 20 pencils a day to do this shit, you know, just for no reason. It was like, why do we play this? You know, it's not like paper footballs, you know, fold some paper, kick it. Nah, we got to fucking do some violent shit. Wow. You know, we got to get the right pencil and put the shit in the right angle. And people would make like an S with the metal, or, you know, a straight dagger or curved, and, you know, trying to figure out the right shit. It was just weird. Like, I think about that, I'm like, I think there was days where I probably broke like 20 pencils. I was like, why are we doing this? This is so stupid. And trying to think if I started playing Bloody Knuckles before Phoenix. I think I started playing Bloody Knuckles in Phoenix. Pretty sure. If you don't know what that is, I'll probably talk about that another time. I guess since I brought it up. Bloody Knuckles is a pretty stupid game as well. Like, basically, you just put your hands like this. It's almost like, you know, hot hands, where you try to slap the other hand, except this time you're trying to knock the other person's knuckles. And the whole point of the game is first person that bleeds loses. So they're really like, half the time wasn't a winner, because half the time you're fucking each other's hands up pretty good before someone bleeds anyway. You just got all these marks and fucking knots and all kinds of shit, because it takes a minute to fuck up a knuckle. Like, that was some pretty stupid shit that we used to do. Some of the other stuff, no, that was when I was older. I'll hold off on that. I don't know if I would necessarily want to talk about that kind of stuff right now. I'm kind of just focusing on San Diego. The other cool thing about San Diego that I really loved was they had the nickel arcades. Like, that shit was fun as fuck, man. You could just go into a nickel arcade for hours and not worry about shit. Sorry, my computer is probably getting wonky. Why the fuck? Go away. Fucking Microsoft Teams is trying to start for some stupid reason. It's listening in on the conversation. Yeah, we had a couple of those places, man. Like, it was pretty cool. The one was right next to my, I guess it was the middle school in San Diego, like where I went to 6th grade. It was literally like a 2-minute walk from the school. And I would constantly just ditch and go over there and play games all day. But like the coolest part about those nickel arcades, at least back then, is they had like free shit. So you could. Okay, still got time. Like that was definitely my spot. Like I said, until I got older, I liked to start going to like the ice skating rink and stuff like that, doing, rolling around, acting like I was a ice hockey player. Even though I never fucking even tried to join a team or anything. Like I said, I was okay on the asphalt, but I think on the ice, I just felt intimidated, I guess. I don't know. It was probably the getting hit part I was always kind of nervous about. That's why I never really got into the football thing, I guess, because I was just always worried about getting hit or getting hurt or whatever. But, sorry, I just totally spaced on what I was talking about. The nickel arcades, right? Yeah, I would ditch, go there. Oh, yeah, the ice hockey rinks. I like right there at the end of living there in San Diego, I was probably at those rinks like every weekend, probably. Like once I figured out that I could ice skate, I was out there. And like I was trying to be, like I said, a hockey player, but I just never had the nerve to do anything. I had all the gear. Like I said, my uncle had bought it all for me. I saw all that shit on Mighty Ducks, and he was like, okay, yeah, what do you want to buy? It's like, that's what you should never do. Don't just buy your kids everything they want. I should talk. Guaranteed, I'm just going to buy this little baby girl that I'm about to have everything. So it's harder said than done, but like, I got to say that's one thing that my uncle did definitely bad was just like, oh, you want this? Here, have it, instead of just like, some disappointment or something like that. I don't know. Like, you definitely should have been buying me like, $400 ice skates and, $100 fucking hockey stick that I never use. It's crazy shit. But yeah, San Diego was very fun. It was definitely a great place to grow up as a kid. I don't know if any of those kids necessarily would say that they liked me. I think I've said this before. If you asked any of those kids if they'd be like, do you remember Stephen Hartmann? Do you have any good memories with him? And they would probably, I don't know, maybe a couple, but I think most of them just hung out with me because either they got bribed into like coming over to a wrestling event or whatever, I don't think they necessarily liked hanging out with me. It was just that we were in the same neighborhood, so they didn't really have a choice. You know what I'm saying? So, because there was one dude, and like I said, Ian was the only dude that I felt like we were friends. And like what sucked was, back then when you move, you just lose contact. There's no fucking like what's an address? Like I didn't understand I needed to get that when we moved, I went back one day and I just like walked up to his house and it was like different people. So it's like, oh, okay, well, fuck. No wonder. Okay. But yeah, like that was the bad thing about moving back then. At least now you could just be like, yeah, email me, dude. Or fucking Facebook me. It's definitely a lot easier. So, but yeah, when we went back to San Diego recently for Legoland, it reminded me, just like, damn, I definitely liked it here. It was nice. The neighborhoods are just like, it looks beautiful. Like, definitely would want to live there. What's crazy is there's gated communities inside that community. So it's like, wait, this is already a really nice area. And then you're putting gated communities up. And what's kind of funny is there used to be this joke of the gated community is actually the poor people. It was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But like, I swear, I definitely heard several kids say that shit. It's like, what the fuck? But It was just funny. Just like it was kind of weird. Like, why are you in a gated community in this like I said, that's fucking really upper class area? You saw, like, if you're on here, you saw that shit. Those are really nice houses. So it's just kind of weird to have gated community in that area. Now, like, the few miles coming into that area is not the greatest. You know, Mira Mesa, Miramar definitely have their issues, but even those areas aren't that bad. Like when we all went to Legoland, like I said, we drove through that shit and it looked pretty decent. So, like, even that, I'm just like, why do you need gated community out here? It's kind of fucking weird. But yeah, I guess that's my life stories for today. I just wanted to kind of go more in depth on the San Diego thing. I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, of course, I think I've said this before. Living there, got to go to Disneyland constantly. I mean, it was like an hour away. So my uncle would take us there all the time. Like, I think I've been there like 15, 20 times. I couldn't count. The funnest time was when me and my buddy Ian went and it was raining. There was no one there. We got to ride everything like 40 times. It was excellent. Been to SeaWorld tons of times. It you know, that was just a whole nother every weekend thing, you know, because it was just right there. You had Balboa Park, you know, all the museums. They had this like science center and all this shit. That was really awesome. So, like, you know, when I go there, I'm just like, damn, this would be a nice place to live. But then I know like how bad California is with all their laws and taxes and all that other shit. And I'm just like, that's just the main reason why you don't live here. But like I said, when you're there, you're just like, man, it would just be so nice to be here. It's like when we went to Florida and we were there on the beach there. It's just like, dude, I would fucking love to live here. And then you hear about all these hurricanes and you're just like, damn, do I really want to live there? I don't know if I want to go through that shit either. I understand you can leave a hurricane. Like, you get several weeks of advance, but it's just like, do you really want to have to deal with that constantly every year? Because it's not like it's like, oh, we don't have one this year. It's like, no, you have like 30 this year. You just only have like maybe 3 big ones or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what the fucking numbers are, but I know there's been at least a few hurricanes this year that have already causing major flooding. So that's a whole nother reason why I need to stay off the East Coast. It's just like, damn, I don't want to have to deal with that constantly. Do I really want my shit getting wet all the time? Like, you can't just move everything out of your house, or I guess you could try to put it up as high as you can, but then like what happens then? Like, I don't know. It's like, is it really worth living there for that beautiful shit? And it's like, almost. Like, living next to a beach is almost worth all that, but I don't know, man. You see what these people go through, and it's just like, damn, I don't know if I want to go through that. At least in San Diego, you don't really have to worry about that. Your shit burning down. It's about all you got to worry about. Maybe a flood here and there. But even that's not that bad. Like, their floods are just mostly mudslides that might take a house out here and there. It's not like a hurricane that takes out like a city and shit. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, San Diego, plenty of good memories there. It's just like when you go back now and the traffic is 2 hours just to go like 30 miles, it's like, I don't know if I want to do this all the time. Like I said, at least in Florida, the traffic wasn't like that. We weren't like constantly sitting, you know. Me and my wife would like go halfway across the town and shit to go get some fucking Publix chicken, and you know, it only took us like 10 minutes. Try to do that shit in San Diego, it'd take you like an hour. So it's just like, damn, that's another bad part. You know, like I said, there's a lot of good stuff, and it's probably because I just didn't realize it as a child, all the other stuff, the inconveniences of stuff. I probably just slept in the car half the time. We were stuck in traffic for 2 hours, and it's just like, I'm gonna nod off. because I know we were in the car constantly. I would go with my uncle everywhere, like constantly on road trips and shit, business trips, whatever the fuck, you know. And of course, he paid for the express lane and stuff like that, so that helped. I think it was like $2 to go like 5 miles or something like that when we were there. I was like, damn, that's crazy. I'm like, how much more express is it? I guess you get to just pass all that traffic that's sitting there, but it's like you'd figure a lot more people would just pay that $2 if it's really that much quicker. I don't know. It's like when we went to Florida, we should have probably just went through the tolls. So I don't think it would have been that much, and we probably would have saved a few hours, you know, and we would have got to see some badass bridges. I know some people didn't want to see bridges, but I would have loved to have seen some badass bridges. But I don't know. I probably would never live in San Diego or even any part of California again. It's just too, I don't know, too crazy with their laws. The taxes are crazy. You know, the only thing that I really like is, you know, the recreational laws there. It's been there for, damn, it's been there for a long time. So that's the only thing that I like there. I didn't even get to try that shit out when we were there, truthfully. I was going to get some shit delivered, and then it just kind of ran out of time, so I never did it. It looked like some pretty decent prices, but I never got anything while we were there. And then, of course, like, when we went to, like, Florida and all that stuff, like, they don't have anything legal there, so I thought it was legal in Florida, and apparently not. All right, so I got about 10 minutes before I got to get off here. The one thing I did want to bring up, shit, I was going to pop it up on here. Let me bring it here. Bam. We watched that movie on HBO Max, Malignant, I believe is what it's called. Let me bring it up here. Of course, I should have done this already. Sorry. Whatever. It's not on there. It's the one on HBO Max. It was interesting. I enjoyed it. I kind of called it when it first came on. Like, I knew kind of what it was at one point, and then it ended up happening. It was like, okay, you know, so you might catch on what's going on right away when you start watching it. But even like my wife said, it was a very original take on a movie. It's like a horror movie, kind of more. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's a horror movie because there's plenty of like hacking and slashing and all kinds of shit. So, it's this lady, like yeah, that's right. Her husband like smashes her head into the wall, and something like gets released, and it's like what she sees is like this dark shadowy figure that like kills her husband and like does all this crazy shit. And then like she realizes that she calls it Gabriel, and like all of a sudden she's thinking it's like this imaginary friend that she had. And like she even tells the police, she's like, this is an imaginary friend that I had, and he's not imaginary, he is real, you just don't see him or whatever, or something at that nature. But then like the cop sees that imaginary person at one point in the movie, so obviously it's a real thing. But like, I don't really want to spoil it, but it was very interesting. It's pretty brutal. Like I said, the kills and all that shit. It's pretty crazy. I enjoyed it. Check it out. It's on HBO Max. It's Malignant, I think. Kind of like, a tumor. That's what made me figure out, what was going on. Just the title name alone almost kind of gives it away. So if you're a smart movie watcher, you'll kind of figure it out. But anyway, I liked it. It got a little weird at times, but I enjoyed the movie for sure. I'll probably watch it again because there was times where I was like, what, why is this happening? So definitely have to like go back and check it out and shit. But I definitely recommend that movie. Check it out. HBO Max. It's like, I think like 2.5 hours. So it's kind of long, but it's a pretty good movie. I can't think of any of the actors. So it's probably, people that I don't really know, so, but I enjoyed the movie. Check it out. And I figured what I'm going to do is I wanted to check out this new Tom Macdonald song. My wife was showing it to me this morning. And what kind of made me laugh about it was she was like, I didn't realize how much or how big he was because the picture, he's right here. Look how much bigger he is for this other guy. And I was like, yeah, I think he was like a wrestler or some shit like that. But anyway, I figured I'd watch it. Just kind of give it a little review as it's playing. Because I know a lot of people do that shit on here on
Friends
YouTube. Friends
would walk up to me and just be like, what the fuck is in your mug? And I would just tell them.
Why wouldn't there be an ad? I had it pulled up, but then I pulled up the Norm Macdonald shit. It's kind of funny that I picked two McDonald's. Full screen this shit.
You good, bro? Ain't picking up calls, dog. What's wrong, man? Daryl, you good?
I really like his videos. He does a really good job, and I guess apparently he does all this shit himself, him and his girl. Then, like, I know through COVID, he's been shooting all these at his house just because he doesn't want to go out and shit, I guess. But what the fuck? That's some crazy shit. Oh, okay. I forget. This is his song, this guy's song, and Tom Macdonald's on it.
And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda.
Makes sense that Tom Macdonald would be on this shit. He's always talking the government's trying to rule shit, listen to that auto tune. New Year's Eve, they've been dropping the ball. Independent, how we dead in the game. We don't write to the sound of applause. And in truth, dotted lines ain't never signed, stood and remain the boss. In a world that is full of facades, where if you speak, you get nailed to a cross. I won't be silent. I am outspoken. I am the product of pain. So when you see my name, no fame could never break down a brain that is already broken. I like the beat. I wonder if Tom Macdonald did it or not. He said, I know it's this guy's song, but I know Tom Macdonald does a lot of beats as well. So I wonder how involved he is on this shit. The cost, the price of fame could cost your head. If it for me is what you seek in propaganda, and all I see is propaganda. Okay. I gotta go here in a minute, so I might have to kill this here in a minute. I just wanted to see what the whole Tom Macdonald part is. I like this song all but that one part. They convince us all that everything he does have like a very large shoulder area. Y'all need balance. Y'all need blacks and whites and lefts and rights to stop the madness. They planned it. It's Trump or Biden, we all been divided by it in the streets. Elections always been rigged. I ain't surprised somebody cheats. All I see is pentagrams of the propaganda, but our priority's the vaccine. It ain't hard for wolves to find the flock when the sheep are fast asleep. Too many people lack character. Too many journalists scaring you. Too many pencils attempting to rewrite the Constitution. You probably gonna tear it up. It must be time for me to go. I don't trust the people taking care of us. We went to bed with the American dream. We woke up in Nightmerica. And all I see is propaganda. I like this song. I'll definitely have to check it out a little bit more here in a minute. But I think I gotta go here. I was pretty much done anyway. But if you guys can please like, subscribe, follow, do all that stuff, leave a comment, that'd be great. All right. Thank you.